Hey, this is Scott. Welcome to Southview Farm. Today we're going to do a video on on the John Deere 1020. It's having some issues. It has these issues about 2 to 3 times a year. It's a gasoline engine, so it has a carburetor. And what happens is it gets some crud and stuff in the carburetor, and it doesn't get enough gas, and it doesn't want to run right. It kind of sounds pretty sick. So what I end up usually having to do is take this carburetor off, spray it with carburetor cleaner, clean whatever debris or junk's in there, and usually it's fine. This carburetor is a Marvel Schebler. It's hard to pronounce, or I have trouble pronouncing it. Marvel Schebler carburetor. This carburetor and the Zenith brand was the carburetors that was on most tractors and equipment from early on all the way up to the early 70s. So if you've got a gasoline tractor from the 60s, 50s or earlier, it's probably going to have a Marvel Schebler or a Zenith on it. And these are updraft carburetors. Air comes through. You've got a float bowl, and when that air comes across that, through the ventures and all the little jets and holes and stuff like that's in the carburetor, it pulls up a little bit of fuel, makes your air fuel mixture, and provides your fuel. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to pull this carburetor off, open it up, clean out any kind of obstruction. There must be some kind of obstruction in there. It's not getting enough fuel. I actually really need to do a full overhaul on this carburetor, and I've tried a few times. I order these kits off the internet and stuff like that. They've got different kits. They've got ones for that has a float needle and float seat and some of the just more common stuff that you replace. And then they have a deluxe kit that has the little seals and stuff like that for your butterfly shaft and everything. And I really need to replace all of it. But every time I buy a kit, the kit never comes with the right parts. I don't know if I'm ordering the wrong thing. I believe this is a Marvel Schebler TSX. I believe it's on this tractor. They're all made pretty much the same, but some of them have smaller. The holes that the shafts go through are smaller. This one's got a larger one on it. The last kit I bought, the seals were too small, and I just took this apart probably 3 months ago. The tractor wouldn't really run at all, so we had to limp it back to the garage. And I had a kit. I got a ton of parts for this thing, but I never have the right parts that I need. So I think today, just to get this tractor running again, I'm just going to pull the carburetor off, clean it out, and see if it runs. If it doesn't, I'll take other measures. But I'm going to go ahead and get started taking the carburetor off. So I've taken the carburetor apart, and I noticed that I've noticed that since the last time I worked on it, I have had a leak around where the float bowl mates with this upper part of the carburetor. Used to have a float. The float in the carburetor used to stick, and I'd be out running the tractor. The tractor would flood out, and I could get out and take a little wrench and peck the side of the carburetor and knock the float loose on it. So where I've tapped on it, I think I figured out where my leak comes from. If you can see right here, the edge of the mating surface where the float bowl mates with the upper part of the carburetor, I have I guess flared that, or it's not flat. So I'm going to take a file to that, clean this surface up around through here. I have I'm not sure what jet this is here. This is your float needle seat. I've cleaned that. I mean, you can tell that's a brand new. That's the last one I put in there about three or 4 months ago. But I didn't find any obstructions. Not to say there wasn't one, but I'm going to clean all this up and get this little ridge right here knocked down before I put it back together, and we'll see how it runs. All right, I got the carburetor back on the tractor. I didn't show all what I did off camera. Pretty much all I did was take the carburetor apart, take it off the tractor, split it, spray it, and then I noticed that it was leaking right here, right along this seam. And when that float would get stuck, I'd take a little wrench. I'd be on the tractor. I could feel the tractor flooding out, and I'd take a little wrench and reach down here while I was still on the tractor and kind of tap this side, and it'd pick right back up and take off. So evidently I've tapped it a little too hard. But I took a file and I flattened that surface, that mating surface between the float bowl and the upper part of the carburetor, and then took some Scotch-Brite, cleaned the face, and put it. Just used carburetor cleaner, cleaned all the little holes and stuff like that out on it, and daggone bug on me. And that's pretty much all I did. So I didn't show all that, but went ahead and put it back on the tractor, and let's see if it starts. I haven't started it. That sounds pretty good. I don't know. It's just not right. I don't think it's right. All over the butt. It runs. It looks like it's still got a little bit of a leak right here. It doesn't sound exactly like it's right. I'm not very happy with it, but it'll be okay. I mean, we can use it, I think. And there's just something not exactly right. Now, I put we had a burnt exhaust valve on the very front. I guess it's the number 1 exhaust valve. I think it's the number 1 on the very front. This is a 3-cylinder tractor. It had a burnt exhaust valve on it. Had the head redid, or had the head redone. That was a few years ago. Maybe there's something else going on with timing. I don't know. Something just doesn't sound right to me. I know I've got an issue with the carburetor. I'm not no mechanic. Just get it together and run it as good as I can get it going, as long as we can keep it going. So I may have to go back in here and look at that a little bit more, because I just don't think there's something right here. But for you guys that's mechanics and stuff, got an ear for things. The gate's blowing shut. You got an ear for things, you kind of know right off the bat what it is, please leave it down in the comments. Help me out. I'd like to have as much advice as I can get. So I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Leave a comment, hit the like button, and if you like videos like this, hit the subscribe button. Subscribing really helps out the channel, so if you can hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, if you like these kind of videos anyway. Leave a comment if you know exactly what's wrong with this, and somebody's sitting out there and say, oh, I know the sound of that, that's what the problem is, you need to do this. Let me know, because I don't know. All I do is to what I can do to just keep the thing kind of going. So, but thanks again. Thanks for tuning in to the Southview Farm, and we'll see you next time.